Hi there, my name is Nicolette Little and I'm the author of the children's book, A Toot in the Tub. I'm just coming back to you this week with a quick response to kids who emailed me through the week with their questions about character development and writing children's books in response to my last video. So I specifically wanted to address one email I got from Emmanuel. Emmanuel is 8 years old. He loves writing children's stories and he's currently writing them in French and English. And he's also currently writing one for his little brother. Now, Emmanuel, I thought that was a really nice email that you wrote me. I think it's great that you're writing stories in French and English. That's fantastic. I also think it's really kind that you're making a story for your little brother. And I just want to say how important I think being kind is as a human being. And it seems like you're really off to a good start. What Emmanuel's asked me is about how to get his children's story published. So I thought I would talk a little bit about that in relation to stories and characters as well. Emmanuel and all kids, if you want to get your story published, what I highly recommend doing is working on it until you think it's just perfect and just right. I sometimes get an idea for a story and I spill it down on paper, but then I'll work on it, sometimes a couple days here, a couple days there, sometimes for as long as a year or a year and a half. And until I feel like I've got just the right words down that really, speak to what I'm trying to get across, or until I feel like I've fleshed out a character and given them just the right details and used just the right adjectives or describing words to really let my audience know who I'm trying to paint a picture about or who I'm trying to talk about, I won't send that story off to the publisher. So it takes a long time to get a children's story just right and really just the way you want it, and also just right in terms of how it will impact other young readers. Now, once you've kind of developed your characters and added the details that really are needed to kind of, get who they are across and make them interesting and relatable to an audience, and once you've used all the words that you think are perfect for getting that story across, then I send it off to a publisher. And what you want to do before you send your story to a publisher is do some research in terms of which publishers are out there. And what you want to do is find a publisher who's publishing the kind of books you've written. So for example, if you write children's picture books, you want to make sure that that publisher that you're writing to and sending your manuscript to publishes that kind of book, right? For example, some publishers also do Canadian authors only right now, or they do stories about, issues in Canada that are really important, for example, around diversity and inclusion. And so, find out which publisher is doing the kind of story that you've written and send it to them. That research will really pay off in the end. And finally, what you want to do after you've kind of figured out who you're going to send your story to, you want to write what's called a pitch letter. And so the pitch letter is a letter that you write to the publisher that you want to consider your work. And in that letter, you tell them a bit about your story. You tell them a bit about the wonderful characters you've written about. You also tell them a little bit about yourself as an author and who you are. And the ultimate goal of the pitch letter is to sell the book, or get that publisher really interested in it so they'll take it on and publish it. So it's just a few little tips from me about publishing and getting that story and your characters really tight and really nicely developed before you send your story off. I'm happy to receive any other questions you might want. And of course, thanks again to the Young Alberta Book Society and their Wordsmith with Us program and the Rose Foundation, because those two organizations are making it possible for authors like me to talk to aspiring writers like you at this time. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.